Now, most people, when you say you're going to a historic place, the first thought that comes to mind is a museum, maybe a battlefield, maybe even just a landmark of some sort. Not necessarily would you think of a cemetery. Well, we are at a rather interesting cemetery today called the Post Cemetery on Mackinac Island. Is unique in a lot of different ways. For instance, in this cemetery there are 108 buried people. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, well, if that's true, Ethan, why are there not 108 gravestones? That is a good question. In the early days, most graves were marked by a wooden cross, and anyone that knows, wood rots and decays over time. So most of those 108 people have become lost to time. In fact, there are only 39 known graves left here. Some debate. Some accounts say there are 108 burials here. Others say there's 120. I don't think we're ever going to really know the true number. What is clear to say, this is a very special place. Spoken about the American dead here in the cemetery. Those aren't the only dead that are here. In the War of 1812, there was fighting here that was done between the Americans and the British, primarily at Fort Mackinac and at Fort George, later named Fort Holmes. There are British dead and American dead here from the War of 1812. Now, unfortunately, we don't know where those are, but they are somewhere here in the cemetery. So even though we were enemies during the war, we still treated one another with respect as part of the dead. Now you probably noticed so far in the video that this American flag in the cemetery is at half-mast. Well, this is indeed a national cemetery, and in fact, this is only one of 4 national cemeteries that is allowed to have the flag permanently at half-mast. Comment down below if you know what the other 3 are. Now, for a while, this cemetery went without much upkeep, as you can well imagine based on the lack of gravestones. Well, the commander of Fort Mackinac put in this picket fence at his own expense because he didn't want to lose this place, this history, the entire graveyard. Now, one of the things that had drawn me strongly to visit the cemetery on this trip was this cemetery was home to one of the original cannons from Fort Sumter. Now, unfortunately, it's been moved from the cemetery since I did my research, which I'm going to try and find it because it is still here on the island. And I think I saw it on my way up here. So it even goes to show, even at the most random places that you could travel to, you will find history. Okay, personal pet peeve of mine. If you have trash, pick up your trash. Seriously, why are people littering? We're better than this, folks. So yeah, that was Post Cemetery here on Mackinac Island. If you learned something and you think I earned it, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. If you liked what was in the video, please hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next one.